Two masses m1 and m2 are initially at rest and are separated by a very large distance. If the masses approach each other subsequently due to the gravitational attraction between them, their relative velocity of the approach, okay, we have to find the relative velocity of the approach at a separation d will be equal to. Let me consider two masses m1 and m2 separated by a very large distance, okay, separated by a very large distance, okay. Initially I will assume it is both are at infinity. Due to gravitational force of attraction, they will approach each other slowly, okay, and the distance between them is equal to d, okay, and the distance between them is equal to d, okay. Now we have to find out when their distance over here is equal to d, the velocity of the m1 will be in the right hand side direction v1 and of the m2 will be in the left hand side direction v2, okay. So first of all, when they were at infinity, let this be position a, let this be position b when they are at this distance, okay. So in the first case, when they were at infinity, the total energy in the position a will be equal to kinetic energy plus the potential energy, okay. Now kinetic energy plus potential energy at a, okay. Now both the bodies were at rest, so the kinetic energy will be equal to 0 because the velocity of both of them will be equal to 0, and the potential energy will also be equal to 0 because potential energy is given by the formula minus gmm divided by r, okay. So since r is equal to infinity, potential energy will be equal to 0. This is the total energy at a, okay, that is equal to 0. Now the total energy in the position b will be equal to the kinetic, again the kinetic plus the potential energy. Now the kinetic energy over here will be equal to, for the first mass it will be equal to, or if I write in terms of in normal terms, it will be equal to m1 v1 square plus the potential energy of the second mass will be equal to m2 v2 square minus the potential, okay, or the potential energy will be equal to minus g m1 m2 divided by d, okay, the distance between them is equal to d, okay. Now since there is no force, and I will assume that there is no drag force, there is no friction, so in that case total energy at position a will be equal to total energy in position b, that is 0 will be equal to half m1 v1 square plus half m2 v2 square minus g m1 m2 divided by d. That is, I can say that half m1 v1 square plus half m2 v2 square will be equal to g m1 m2 divided by d, okay. Let this equation be as it is, okay. Let this equation be as it is. Let this be equation number 1, okay. Let this be equation number 1, okay. So over here, let this be equation number 1, okay. Now since there is no external force, the only force that is acting is due to the gravitational force of attraction between them, I can say that the angular momentum or the linear momentum, okay, in this case the angular momentum will anyway be equal to 0. The linear momentum is also conserved, that is the linear momentum before collision is equal to linear momentum afterwards. Both of them were at rest initially, so I can say that the linear momentum is 0, okay. Now it will be equal to, after arriving at distance d, it will be equal to the momentum of the first body will be equal to m1 v1 and of the second body will be equal to minus m2 v2. Why minus? Because v2 is in the left hand side direction and v1 is in the right hand side direction, okay. So I can say that m1 v1 will be equal to m2 v2, that is v1 will be equal to, over here v1 will be equal to m2 v2 divided by m1. Let me plug in this value in the first equation, okay. So it will be equal to half m1, okay, or I can take 2 on the right hand side, okay. It will be equal to 2g m1 m2 divided by d, okay. So m1 v1 square, instead of v1 square it will be equal to m2 v2 divided by m1 the whole square plus m2 v2 square, okay. So it will be equal to m1 m2 square v2 divided by m1 square plus m2 v2 square is equal to 2g m1 m2 divided by d, okay. So from this equation, from this given equation, square and this part will get cancelled out over here. I can take m2 common, m2, and I can also take v2 square common, it will be squared, okay. I can take m2 v2 square common, so the only term that is remaining, it will be equal to m2 by m1, okay, plus m2 over here will be equal to g m1 m2 divided by d. So from this given equation, okay, m2 will also get cancelled off from the left and right, okay. So v2 square will be equal to m1, I will take it on the right hand side, it will be equal to g m1 square divided by m1 plus m2 into d, okay. It will be equal to g m1 square divided by m1 plus m2 into d, that is v2 will be equal to, if I take root on both the sides, it will be equal to m1 root of g divided by m1 plus m2 into d, okay. This is the first, let this be the second equation, okay. Let this be the second equation. Now v2 over here will be equal to v2. If I write it in terms of v2, v2 will be equal to m1 v1 divided by m2. So when I substitute the value, when I plug in the value over here, v2 will be equal to m1 v1 divided by m2 is equal to m1. Rest of the terms will remain as it is, g divided by m1 plus m2 into d. Okay, so m1 and m1 will get cancelled out. So v1 will be equal to m2 root of g divided by m1 plus m2 into d. Okay, rest of the terms remain constant. The only change over here is instead of m1 we have m2. Okay, now we have to find out the relative velocity. Okay, relative velocity between both of them. Now since v1 is going on the left hand side and v2 is going in the right, since v1 is going in the right hand side and v2 is going in the left hand side, the relative velocity over here will be equal to, the relative velocity over here will be equal to v relative will be equal to v1 plus v2. That is, rest of the term will remain constant, that is equal to root g m1 plus m2 will remain constant into d. Okay, into it will be equal to m1 plus m2. Okay, it will be equal to m1 plus m2. When I take m1 plus m2 inside the bracket, it will be equal to root of m1 plus m2 into g divided by d. Okay, this will be the total velocity or the relative velocity of the particle. Let us check the options over here, which is equal to, and 2, there is also 2 in the denominator. Okay, there is also 2 in the denominator, which I have taken in the right hand side. Okay, there is also 2 over here, so everywhere there will be 2, so I will directly substitute in the final part. It will be equal to 2g m1 m2 divided by d. Okay, it will be equal to 2g m1 m2 divided m1 plus m2 divided by d, the whole raised to half, which is equal to option number C.